You asked Representative Stefanik to stay in her seat. Can you explain your reason for that? Did it have anything to do with the tight polling in the Florida district that former Representative Waltz held?
Well, I think we're doing, I think we had, as you know, we have a few elections going on, but she's very popular in her district, and I didn't want to take a chance. And I said, Lise, would you do me a favor? We cannot take a chance. We have a slim margin. We don't want to take any chances. We don't want to experiment.
Yesterday, Donald Trump publicly panicked and did something which betrayed how terrified he and the Republican Party are about losing their grip on power. And as an added bonus, Trump's stunt happened to humiliate one of the very worst Republicans in Congress, and we have to talk about it. But before we do, if you end up liking this video and you want to support the channel, please be sure to hit the like, subscribe, and alert bells before you go. All right, friends, we had a lot to cover yesterday, so I didn't get a chance to get to this, but this is a stunning move which betrays the insecurity of Trump and the GOP. As Mediaite and others report, Trump pulls absolutely fantastic Elise Stefanik's nomination for U.S. ambassador to protect razor-thin GOP majority. Folks, this is a break glass in case of emergency situation. The White House is pulling Donald Trump's nomination of Representative Elise Stefanik to be the U.S. ambassador to the United Nations. Thursday afternoon, Semaphore Congressional Bureau Chief Burgess Everett tweeted that Senator James Risch, who chairs the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, told him the White House was pulling Stefanik's nomination. The news came after weeks of delays for Stefanik's confirmation hearing amid ongoing chatter about Republican woes about their razor-thin majority in the House. Earlier in the day, Thursday, CBS News senior White House reporter Jennifer Jacobs had reported that Stefanik's nomination was, quote, in jeopardy as pressure mounts for her to withdraw. Stefanik has yet to resign from her congressional seat. Currently, Republicans have a 218-213 majority in the House, with Stefanik included. There are a total of 4 vacant seats, with 2 seats vacant because Sylvester Turner and Raul Grijalva died earlier this month. The other 2 vacant seats belong to Florida Republicans, former Republican Matt Gaetz, who withdrew his bid for Attorney General, and Mike Waltz, the current disgraced National Security Advisor. Both Florida seats are on the ballot for a special election next week and lean heavily Republican. Trump posted an announcement confirming he asked Stefanik to stay in Congress. This is what he wrote. As we advanced our America First agenda, it's essential that we maintain every Republican seat in Congress. We must be unified to accomplish our mission, and Elise Stefanik has been a vital part of our efforts from the very beginning. I've asked Elise, as one of my biggest allies, to remain in Congress to help me deliver historic tax cuts, great jobs, record economic growth, a secure border, energy dominance, peace through strength, and much more, so we can make America great again. With a very tight majority, I don't want to take a chance on anyone else running for Elise's seat. The people love Elise, and with her, we have nothing to worry about come Election Day. There are others that can do a good job at the United Nations. Therefore, Elise will stay in Congress, rejoin the House leadership team, and continue to fight for our amazing American people. Speaker Johnson is thrilled. I look forward to the day when Elise is able to join my administration in the future. She is absolutely fantastic. Thank you, Elise. This is so damn funny because it betrays how insecure how Trump and the Republicans are about their razor-thin majority, especially once we learn that that state Senate seat in Pennsylvania was flipped from Republican to Democrat. It was a special election, and Democrats flipped this district, which was otherwise like plus 15 Trump. It was an incredible upset. That's not to say the Stefanik seat would have necessarily gone to a Democrat, but clearly the Republicans feared that that was the case, such that they humiliated this woman. Now, the upshot is she is a genuinely reprehensible person. She is truly terrible. One of the most despicably vicious members of Congress, who used to apparently be a regular sort of Main Street Republican, mild in temperament, mild in rhetoric, mild in policy, but she has since transformed herself into a MAGA Republican. Stefanik used to be on the House leadership team. You've probably seen her and heard of her. We covered in recent videos or in previous videos last year. She just became a full-blown MAGA warrior. So it's funny that this happened to her. This is really funny. We should take joy in it. But she was desperate to try to get Trump to change his mind because she really wanted that job. Crush Elise Stefanik scrambled to convince Trump to change his mind about pulling her nomination. Stefanik reportedly scrambled to get Donald Trump to reverse course on withdrawing her nomination as ambassador to the UN. Now, again, it goes into what we just discussed. Shortly after the CBS News report dropped, Trump pulled Stefanik's nomination. According to sources who spoke with Axios, Stefanik did not exactly go, or rather remain, quietly. Quote, Stefanik was crushed and scrambled to reverse Trump's decision before he announced it on Truth Social, according to people familiar with the matter, the outlet reported. But for Trump, the margins were too close for comfort. So, she was crushed. She was devastated by this decision. And listen, it makes sense. She didn't want to be in Congress anymore, not much of a legislator. She wanted to part the administration. And she had not resigned, but she basically fired most of her staff, or most of her staff resigned because she was no longer going to be in Congress. She was in the process of moving from to New York City, I believe, or to New York for this U.S. ambassador role to the UN. So it's hilarious. Now, she went on Fox News after this and spoke with former Trump press secretary Kayleigh McEnany and tried to put on a brave face about her decision. So we're going to play some of these clips, but just know that even though she's smiling externally, doing everything in her power, it's a Stepford grin, and behind it is the shattered psyche of a deeply reprehensible person who just got the rug pulled out from under her by an even more reprehensible person, Donald Trump, because they're concerned that they're about to lose their grip on power. We're going to play some of these clips and unpack it together.
Well, the president is going to continue to deliver just incredible results. He has had a nearly perfect first few months and has just done a tremendous job on delivering what he campaigned on.
It's so funny. You can almost see, he's had a perfect few months. Perfect. Except for that whole national security breach. The economy is struggling under Trump. The, schizophrenic tariff policy. The incomprehensibly stupid cuts that Doge is making, his polling is underwater. I mean, besides those things, he's doing like really, really great. Some more clips.
Levels in Congress. So it really came to a culmination today, but it was a combination of the New York corruption that we're seeing under Kathy Hochul, special elections, and the House margin. And look, I've been in a House. It's tough to count these votes every day, and we are going to continue to defy the political prognosticators and deliver victory on behalf of President Trump and, importantly, the voters across this country.
Nobody's buying it. Nobody's buying it, Elise. Nobody's buying it. You are so upset about this, and it's so delicious. But keep trying. Keep trying to persuade people you're okay with this decision.
I'm going to continue speaking out. The good news, Kayleigh, is because I am not pending confirmation, the American people will be hearing a lot more from me because...
Well, that's bad news. I mean, when you put it like that, I don't know why you got to... that feels personal. Like, we really don't want to hear from you. We're kind of content, at least with the idea of you having very less or considerably less publicity as the U.S. ambassador to the United Nations. I mean, I think it was Nikki Haley, former Trump rival, former governor of South Carolina. She was also Trump's U.S. ambassador to the United Nations. We didn't see or hear much from her, so that would have been a great reprieve. Excuse me. And this is Kayleigh McEnany really trying to massage Stefanik's feelings about this and hype her up, despite knowing that she's heartbroken.
Well, Congresswoman Elise Stefanik, you're being praised as a selfless warrior, and I look very much forward to seeing what the bright future holds for you. Thank you so much.
That's so funny. Listen, you're being praised as a warrior. Okay, whatever you say. We're going to get into some of the trolling that the Democrats have done in response to this again, and she deserves this. Okay, Stefanik is not. It'd be different if it were Don Bacon, right? Who's this kind of moderate Main Street Republican, somebody who's not particularly offensive, somebody, yes, who votes Republican, yes, he supports Trump on most things, but he's a chill guy who tries to get along with people on both sides of the aisle. That would be one thing. There wouldn't be as much schadenfreude there. But again, Stefanik has, as Representative Himes is about to explain, just totally transformed herself, debased herself to try to appeal to Trump maximally, not unlike Nancy Mace. And so this is really funny that this is happening to her.
Want to get your take on Elise Stefanik. It's being announced that her nomination is being pulled for the ambassador to the United Nations. This follows, I think Republicans are getting worried about the electoral map that they're seeing. They saw what happened in a Pennsylvania state race that never went Democrat since 1889, and a Democrat won in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. I think they're seeing kind of what's happening in Florida right now in these specials. People are saying that's behind it. But, Elise Stefanik, she morphed from moderate to ultra MAGA, and now Hegseth gets to be Secretary of Defense, and Stefanik does not get to be Ambassador to the United Nations. Some might call it karma. Some might use other words. What's your response to all of this?
Yeah, well, it certainly is interesting politically, and I don't know. We'll see in this race in Florida that apparently is in a Republican plus 30 district, and gosh, the Democrat is 5 points behind. We'll see what's happening out there. I don't think they really think that very red district is at risk, but I do think inside this building, I do think that there are a whole lot of Republicans who have realized that the time has run out on the idea that you can cut $880 billion out of Medicaid through waste, fraud, and abuse. A lot of people got very sober wake-ups this week when they realized, oh my God, I got to go back to my constituents and tell them that we're about to destroy Medicaid. So I think they start to see the unanimity fraying here. From Elise's standpoint, I know Elise really well. We served on the Intelligence Committee together. It's almost, you said karma, it's almost Shakespearean, right? I mean, Elise was a classic Bob Dole Republican when she got here, did what she needed to do to become a MAGA darling. And now just as high office is right there, the Shakespearean gods have pulled that out, pulled the rug out from under her. So it's
hilarious is what it is. It's hilarious. And it's okay. You know what, Representative Himes, it's okay to make fun of terrible people when terrible things happen to them and delight in their despair. They absolutely would if the shoe were on the other foot to people who are not terrible. I mean, my God, this entire White House runs on schadenfreude. This entire party runs on spite. My God, they're putting ASMR videos of migrants as they're being bagged and handcuffed and shackled and, marched into airplanes, apparently many of them without criminal records, apparently many of them without due process, and apparently many of them here legally, and they delight in that, and it animates their base. And I could be 100% wrong, but I think that there are people in our base who also are motivated by bullying bullies. It's okay. So if it's okay to say this is funny, this is good that this happened to her, that she was humiliated and heartbroken in such a way. I think there's nothing wrong with it. Elise Stefanik is a powerful person who's made a series of life choices to compromise her integrity. Again, as Himes has pointed out and others have pointed out as well, subordinating her principles for political expediency. And she was, in effect, punished for it by Donald Trump, whose political expediency he values more than hers. It is Shakespearean. It's hilarious. So let's get into that. Fact Post, aligned with the Democrats, says Elise Stefanik has lost her nomination for U.S. ambassador due to Trump's worries of losing the razor-thin majority in Congress. TCC statement on the withdrawal of Representative Stefanik's nomination to U.S. ambassador, or UN ambassador. Despite New York 21 being a Trump plus 20 seat, Republicans and Donald Trump knew they were on track to lose the special election because of their deeply unpopular, disastrous agenda. A few weeks ago, they were too scared to face voters at town halls. Now they're so scared they can't even face voters at the polls. Doesn't bode particularly well. Then 26, they post the sad picture of her, and it is funny. Again, no apologies for it. Showing her at the United Nations just vanishing like Obi-Wan in A New Hope. And as Ken Martin, the new chair of the Democratic National Committee, says, the GOP is scared, and they should be. Look at the R plus 23 district we just flipped in Pennsylvania. We're taking back the majority. Trump is only delaying the inevitable. Hey, I hope they're right. Now, full disclosure, as somebody who's a Democrat, our polling is in the shitter too. It's not great. And we should be self-flagellating and, doing autopsies on our own party and trying to get our stuff together. No shame in admitting that. I am unapologetic about that. But listen, I just want to close with this again. This betrays an insecurity. Trump is terrified. The Republicans are terrified. They would only pull a stunt like this knowing that their insecurity would be betrayed if they felt it was absolutely necessary, number one. So take note of that. And number two, because I've gotten a comment on this or a couple of comments on previous videos, some people think I'm being too mean to elected Republicans when I mock them and belittle them. Again, I make no bones about it. It's okay to pick on bullies. It is. And the Republican Party, its elected representatives, are the biggest bullies. And I don't think we owe them grace or charity or kindness. Don't break the law, to be sure, to be clear. But it's okay to, when you have a situation where a terrible person loses a job that she wanted for political expediency, when it was political expediency which caused her to be nominated for that job in the first place, that's okay. I'm okay with that. In the meantime, let me know what you think in the comments.